Father, if you were to have anything in the world, what would it be?
For the sake of conversation, of course.
Of course.
Anything?
Well, almost anything.
I would want my children to show up for their meals on time. Where have you been?
Out for a ride.
In the hay wagon?
Isn't there anything else you might like?
I would like some sausages.
Sorry, but there aren't any more.
I saw several in the pantry this morning.
Someone took them.
I ate some
24.
and gave some away.
To whom?
To the beautiful, mysterious girl in the woods.
I find no humor, brother.
Richard was only teasing.
It's nothing to tease about. I gave them to children who were in need.
All right. All right, if it meant that much to you, but next time before you take anything, ask. Now, eat your suppers.
Is there any cheese?
To what do we owe this honor?
Your son helped some peasants to escape from my land. He's given them refuge on yours.
Have they done something wrong?
Not exactly.
If they're no longer on your property, what does it matter to you where they go?
In ordinary circumstances, it wouldn't. But these particular peasants happen to carry the plague. I'm concerned about it spreading and infecting every peasant in the land.
What concerns you is that if your villagers die, you'll have no one to work your fields and bring in your crops.
Regardless, anyone who carries the disease must be destroyed.
Don't you dare touch them or I'll...
Or what?
Or you risk being infected yourself.
Me? Catch the plague? I can't. I'm a nobleman. Only the poor and wretched die from it.
My wife died from it.
So she did.
If there's nothing more,
You do well to rid your property from these plague-infested vermin.
I believe you've said your piece. This is the most irresponsible thing you have ever done.
You said yourself something shall be done to help these people.
Well, you've certainly chosen a fine time to start listening.
Mullins would have killed them.
My heart cries for them, Cedric. It truly does. But you've risked exposing yourself and this entire family. Don't you realize the danger?
I was careful not to get too close.
No one knows how close too close is.
I've heard Almas tell stories of when Mother fell ill. You stayed by her side day and night.
That was different. She was my wife. I loved her with all my heart and soul.
But you didn't get sick.
Only God knows why some people get ill and others don't. Why some people recover and others do not. You were just a babe in swaddling cloth when your mother first became ill. Every night she would cry herself to sleep. Not because she was afraid of dying, but because she could no longer hold you in her arms. I lost your mother to this terrible illness. I'll not lose you. Where are they?
Shepherd's Meadow.
You stay away from them.
They'll die without help.
They probably will anyway.
Father?
Yes, Eleanor.
I want to ask you about Richard.
What about him?
Why does he have such difficulty talking about Mother or her death?
When your mother died, Richard saw nothing but grief and misery all around him. So he took it upon himself to be the strong one. For me, for all of us. While everyone else was shedding tears, I never once saw him cry. Not then, not since. Richard has never allowed himself to properly mourn the passing of your mother.
Cedric, don't come any closer.
I have some bad news. It's no longer safe here. You must leave. Where's Janie?
She has a fever.
I want you to take the wagon and stay in the main road. If you cross onto John Mullen's land, he'll...
Cedric!
Come home, Cedric. Now.
I've given them the wagon. I doubt they'll be able to make it by themselves.
There's nothing more you can do for them.
They need help.
You've done enough.
When the parents of those children were slaughtered, she saved them. Now she cares for them. She does it for no other reason other than human kindness.
Cedric, please come home.
She needs me.
Cedric, don't be a fool!
Cedric, come back! No.
Tell Father that we're headed for the sanctuary on the Isle of Wight. Tell him I'll be all right, and I'll return when there's no longer any risk or danger. Go on, lads.
Covington Cross will be back in a moment.
How is she? Everyone all right?
How are you?
Better. Though I don't think one ever fully recovers from the death of a loved one.
Only time can heal the wounds of the heart. Is there anything I can do?
You can join me in beseeching King Edward to do all that he can to put an end to the suffering of his people.
I meant for you.
Hold me.
Come on. Come on, come on. Come on. Whoa. Come on. Gently. Come on. That's it. Come on.
Bit more.
Come on. Cedric!
What brings you?
No,
What is it?
Cedric's gone.
Where?
To take a young woman and 3 orphans south to the Solent.
They've all been exposed to the plague.
Go back to the castle. I'll return shortly.
What can I do?
Hold me.
Get up! Cedric is foolish and thoughtless. Never once did he stop to consider father's or anyone else's feelings.
He's young.
And he's in love.
Why are you defending him? There is no...
We were just talking about Cedric.
So I heard.
What he's done is reckless.
Don't be too hard on your brother. This is not the first time emotion has impaired the judgment of someone in this family. Nor, I dare say, will it be the last.
He needs to grow up.
Unfortunately, he may now never get the chance.
What happened?
He's gone lame. Sorry, Mercury. What else can go wrong?
Would you like anything more to eat?
No, thanks. You should have some.
I'm not hungry.
You need to keep your strength up.
That's what my mother used to tell me.
A wise woman, your mother. I'd maybe like to meet her someday. Sorry, I didn't realize.
It's all right. Both my parents died last year. I'm an orphan, just like they are now. Maybe that's why I care for them, because I know what it's like to have no one.
Did your parents die of the plague? My mother did too, only I was very young. Don't really remember her.
I'm sure if she was anything like you, she was a very kind person.
Actually, I've always imagined her to be like you.
Who are you, Cedric Grey? Why are you here? You have everything in the world to live for, and yet here you are risking it all. For what?
Some things are worth the risk.
I promised Anne that Cedric would become a cleric. If only I'd kept that promise, Cedric would be...
You've done everything a father could.
Have I? I wonder. I wonder.
What are you doing awake?
I can't sleep.
I know what you mean.
Cedric, is Janie a bad girl?
What?
Is Janie bad?
Of course not. Why do you ask that?
I heard some people say that God makes us sick because we're bad.
That's not true. I knew someone who got very sick. And she was very good.
Why do those men want to hurt us?
It's because they're the ones that are bad, and because they're scared.
I'm scared.
It's going to be all right.
Is Janie going to die?
I don't know.
Are we going to die?
No, Lorna, we're not. We're not.
Thomas? Thomas? Thomas?
What are you doing up?
I was about to ask you the same question.
I didn't want to wake you.
That wasn't the question.
What was the question?
Where are you off to in the middle of the night?
I'm after Cedric.
It's too dangerous.
He may need me.
Please, don't go. It's much too much of a risk.
I would risk battle against 100 swords for any of my children. I must risk this for my son.
I couldn't bear to lose you.
Nor I him.
Thomas!